In a mountainous region, a small mountain village was struck by dysentery. Natalie, a young and capable woman, stepped forward. She explained to the villagers, led by Lee, that dysentery was an infectious disease mainly causing gastrointestinal discomfort and bloody stools. She asked them to find an empty house for the sick, send people with basic medical knowledge to assist, and emphasized strict hygiene control, especially regarding excreta and drinking water. Natalie also prescribed a traditional Chinese medicine formula and was confident that with her treatment, the patients would recover. Dominic, a mysterious man traveling with Natalie, was impressed by her calm and professional handling of the epidemic. He wondered where she had learned such remarkable medical skills, as he was in desperate need of medical help for his own purpose, finding a cure for an important illness in his homeland of Ji. Meanwhile, in a border town of Chu, a large number of displaced people had gathered outside the city gates. The local magistrate, fearing the spread of the epidemic, had closed the gates. Aubrey, the king of Chu, who was secretly traveling in search of Natalie, arrived. Angered by the magistrate's inhumane handling, he took charge. The local doctors reported that the situation outside the city was dire, with the dead unburied and the sick and healthy mixed. Aubrey sent for the renowned Dr. Lee from the capital, but he knew he had to control the situation in the meantime. Back in the mountain village, Natalie's treatment was successful. The mild, case patients recovered in 5 days, and the severe, case ones were showing improvement. After the epidemic was under control, Natalie and Dominic continued their journey, now traveling on the main road for safety. Along the way, they came across a heart-rending scene in the border town. A girl named Zoe was selling herself to bury her mother, who had died in the recent epidemic. 2 merchants were vying for her to be their concubine. Natalie, feeling sympathetic, offered Zoe a chance for a self-determined life. Zoe readily agreed, and Natalie arranged for her mother's burial and a place for Zoe to stay. Unbeknownst to Natalie, Zoe had ulterior motives and was secretly working for someone. Natalie and Dominic then checked into the largest inn in town, which had unique rooms of different styles. Natalie was impressed by the inn's creativity. Later, Melanie, the manager of Lanky Pavilion, visited Natalie. To Natalie's surprise, she learned that this inn was one of the subsidiaries of Lanky Pavilion, which she was the actual owner of. Melanie recounted how Natalie, or rather, the mysterious Miss Sue, presumably Natalie's alias in business matters, had saved her from a lecherous man. At a banquet, Melanie, a performing artist, was harassed. Miss Sue intervened. Later, when the lecherous man tried to harm Melanie on her way home, Miss Sue saved her again. Grateful, Melanie had since dedicated herself to working for Lanky Pavilion to repay the kindness. After saving Melanie from a lecherous man, Judy, the mysterious and capable woman, took Melanie under her wing. Judy taught Melanie business skills, and Melanie, a natural talent, quickly learned and applied them. She transformed an inn in the border town, making it a popular destination with unique styles. As a result, Judy entrusted Melanie with all the business in the border city. Melanie managed Lanky Pavilion extremely well, doubling its assets in just half a year. Natalie was impressed by Judy's ability to spot talent. Before leaving, Natalie asked Melanie to take good care of Zoe, a girl she had rescued. Melanie, sensing something amiss with Zoe, warned Natalie not to be too trusting. The next day, Natalie and her group left the border town and arrived in the capital of the Kingdom of Ji. Dominic, who had accompanied Natalie, left her at an inn, saying he had urgent matters to attend to. Natalie, eager to explore, convinced Janine to go out with her. However, they got lost in the city, which was filled with handsome men, a sight that amazed Natalie. They witnessed a thrilling martial arts tournament. In the first match, a stocky man defeated a tall and thin one. Then, a slender man in gray challenged the stocky man. The gray-clad man was clearly more skilled. Despite the stocky man's efforts, the gray-clad man won in the end, and the prize for winning was to become a retainer in the princess's mansion, enjoying the treatment equivalent to that of 100 household head. While exploring, Natalie and Janine were robbed by a child. Without money and lost, they were cornered by drunk men at night. Natalie, to Janine's surprise, revealed her martial arts skills and fought off the drunks. Finally, Dominic found them, and Natalie explained their situation. Dominic arranged for food and assigned Liam to protect Natalie. The next day, Natalie, in male attire, and Janine, accompanied by Liam, went out again. They came across another martial arts tournament. The prize this time was a golden, thread breastplate, which was said to be impenetrable by weapons and resistant to fire and water. Natalie learned from Liam that the Kingdom of G had a strong martial arts, loving culture, and such tournaments were common ways to select talents or find retainers. The tournament was hosted by the princess, who was holding it for the second day to recruit more retainers. Seeing the breastplate, Natalie decided to participate. In the tournament, there were some unruly contestants who were disqualified. Then, two powerful men fought, and their skills were impressive. After several matches, Natalie stepped up. Her opponent, a tall and thin man, underestimated her at first. In the first round, neither of them made a move. In the second round, the man attacked, but Natalie used a combination of Tai Chi and Taekwondo to gain the upper hand. In the third round, the man resorted to using hidden weapons, but Natalie still managed to kick him off the stage and won the tournament. As the winner, Natalie was to receive an additional reward from the princess at her mansion. When she arrived at the mansion, the princess, whose face was veiled, offered her the position of consort, which was a sudden change from the original second-place reward. Natalie, being a woman in disguise, was shocked and politely declined, citing her unworthiness. The princess, angry at the rejection, ordered Natalie to stay in the mansion for a few days. Natalie, trapped, hoped that Liam could quickly inform Dominic to rescue her. Later, a maid came to ask Natalie again about her decision, and Natalie tried to decline politely, using the excuse of not having consulted her family.